Every single day, we're just buried under this mountain of information, right? But let's be honest, how much of it can you actually trust? Building a mental filter to tell what's real from what's not, well, that's not just a nice little skill anymore. It's a critical superpower for getting by in today's world. So, here's what we're going to do. First, we'll look at the misinformation trap that, yeah, catches all of us sometimes. Then, I'm going to give you a super simple 5-step filter. We'll even take it for a test drive with a real example. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to make this a habit. All right, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the big problem we all face: trying to figure out what's real and what's not when we're online. Just think about the last week. How many totally shocking headlines did you scroll past? You know, the ones promising some kind of miracle cure or blowing the lid off a massive conspiracy. And hey, be honest, how many times have you just hit that share or forward button before you even had a second to check if it was actually true? Look, we've all done it. Our brains are just wired to be fast on social media, not always to be accurate. Or what about this? A hot tip on some stock that's just about to go to the moon. How often do we just trust stuff without asking even a couple of basic questions first? And this is why it's so important. This isn't just a game. One bad piece of info about your health or your money or just what's happening in the world, it can have some pretty serious consequences. It's really about protecting yourself. So now that we kind of get the problem, let's build your defense system. This is a simple but really powerful 5-step checklist you can use in like under a minute to test pretty much anything you come across. And here it is. This is the whole shebang. It's just 5 simple questions. Anytime you see something that makes you go, just run it through this mental checklist. Forget trying to remember a bunch of complicated rules. All you need are these 5. Okay, first up, the source. Before you even get into the article or the post, just ask who's behind this. See, credible sources aren't afraid to tell you who they are. If you can't find an author or an About Us page and it all feels kind of mysterious, that's your first major red flag. The second step is all about evidence. It's the show me the receipts part. It's really easy for someone to say, experts agree, but the real question is, where's the proof? You want to look for strong evidence, like actual links to studies or specific data. Anything less is really just an opinion without any backup. Step 3 is to cross-check. Just ask, is anyone else reporting this? Take the main claim, pop it into a search engine. If all you find are a bunch of other shady-looking blogs repeating the exact same thing, you should be skeptical. Real facts almost always leave a trail across lots of different credible sources. Next up, you want to look for bias. Every piece of content, every article, every video, it's all made for a reason. Ask yourself, who benefits if I believe this? Are they trying to sell me a product, push some kind of agenda? Just knowing the creator's motivation is a huge clue. And finally, step 5, pay attention to your emotion. Ask yourself, how is this making me feel? Misinformation loves to use anger and fear and outrage to basically shut down your critical thinking. So if you feel a really strong gut reaction, that is your signal to stop, take a breath, and run it through the filter. All right, so theory is great and all, but let's actually see this filter in action. We're going to test a type of misinformation that you've probably seen 100 times in your own social media feed. So here's our claim. It's a viral article that says, some special tea can cure diabetes in just 10 days. I mean, it sounds incredible, right? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's run it through our 5-step filter. Okay, let's do this live. Watch how fast this thing falls apart. 1, the source, it's an anonymous blog. Red flag. 2, the evidence, it says a study, but there's no link. Another red flag. 3, cross-check. Nope, no credible health websites are talking about this. Red flag. 4, bias. Oh yeah, there's a giant buy now button for the tea. Definite red flag. And 5, emotion. It's playing on people's fear and hope. That's 5 red flags. Total fail. And seriously, how long did that take? Less than a minute. In 60 seconds, this super simple process just protected you from information that's not just false, but potentially harmful. That's how powerful this is. Okay, so let's wrap this all up by making sure this amazing tool becomes a permanent part of your thinking, like a new mental toolkit you can use every single day. Now, to help make this stick, you can use the acronym SECBE: source, evidence, cross-check, bias, and emotion. Yeah, I know it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but it's a really simple checklist you can run through your head anytime you feel that little bit of doubt. And here's your homework. Sometime today, I want you to find one of those viral posts or forwarded message or a crazy headline and just run it through these 5 steps. See for yourself what you find out. Practice is what's going to turn this from a lesson into a real habit. I just love this quote from Jean Piaget. This whole process, it's not about memorizing a list of good websites and bad websites. It's about developing a critical mindset, a way of thinking that lets you discover the truth for yourself. So, the only question left is, what piece of information are you going to put to the test first? What are you going to filter today?